Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to talk about Cade Cunningham. And over the next few
Yep.
days, we're going to really dive into some individual players, look at their future, look at how they did in 2022, and just really the future of them on the team, what it looks like. So, Craig, let's talk right off the bat, Cade Cunningham, because this is the most exciting, of course, for us.
Yeah.
Number one overall pick. What did you see this year that you loved? And just generally, what do you see going forward?
Yeah, and I'm glad you're hopping on this one with me because I did a video earlier with Cade, and what I saw was a guy that completely changed about 2/3 through the year, a little more than halfway through his season. And what I saw was a guy that just it clicked. I mean, it clicked and he started playing basketball at just a straight different level. In fact, let's show this to everybody. This is since the All-Star game. All right. So he played in 20 games after the All-Star break. He was consistently at this point 21 points, 6.5 boards, 5.7 assists. Like that in itself is absolutely absurd, right? And I'm not going to keep that up there forever. There's
Can you
there's
scroll
other
down,
things.
Craig? It's up on the top. Okay. We'll
That's
we'll
a
look at
oh
them again. Yeah.
yeah, don't worry about it. So like, but there's other things too. His field goal percentage went up to 45% from the field. His 3-point percentage actually went down, believe it or not, and his minutes went up. And I think that was one of the things that really contributed to the 3-point percentage going down. I think the legs started to get a little tired first NBA season, 60 plus games in. You start to feel it in the legs a little bit. And the jump shot's the first thing to go. But he became that mid-range dead eye. So what I really saw, you asked me this question, I want to answer it properly. I saw a guy go from, okay, yeah, he was worthy of being a top 5 pick. I can see the potential. He's a year or two away to, oh, he's here now. And he's going to be really, really good. He's going to be a superstar in this league. I truly believe that.
Well, the pace of play, just like his overall control of the offense,
Yes.
is like,
Yes.
okay, this guy is legit, and I think that's what's cool is like you brought it to my attention. Like, no, what I'm seeing is this guy could be a top 5 player in the
Yeah,
league, not
I think
not
so.
rookie, not like he could be a top 5 player. So talk about that. Just future, what the future looks like looks really good.
Yeah, and here's the thing: everybody's upset that he's not going to win Rookie of the Year, and he probably won't. He won't win Rookie of the Year, and that's okay because he's still the best player. I understand that Evan Mobley will probably or Scotty Barnes because you have two guys that were contributing on teams that made the playoffs. I get it. And I think he's going to be the first guy to average like 17, 5, and 5 since Magic Johnson or something like that, not to win Rookie of the Year. I don't know if that's a correct stat or not, but like what we're seeing with Cade is a guy that has future star potential. And what you saw was all of a sudden he started getting his way this year. He got to his spots. And it kind of reminded me in many ways. You remember Kobe Bryant, just get to the elbow, right?
Mhm.
Like when he would do that and he would just be going and then just stop and shoot. And it was money from that 15 feet. Yeah, he could shoot the three. Yes, he could drive with the best of them, but he got, 6 points a game, 8 points a game just with a hard stop, pull up mid range. And Cade is doing very similar to that. The future is,
Well,
oh man, Chris, I'm
and
excited. I am
and
so
talk about
excited.
his his passing is something too. So
Yep.
like when Bagley came on board, all of a sudden he's throwing these passes that they're not even lobs even, but they're just like interior passes where you're like, whoa, and it's like actually that was perfect. That was actually perfect over the
Yeah.
defender, right in stride. So it's like this guy gets the game of basketball. Obviously, he's number one overall pick, but just to see some of the passing is like this guy just he gets what we're doing here. I love that.
Yeah, I think that was, I'm glad you mentioned Bagley, and we'll talk more about this in the Bagley video because we're going to do a recap of his season and what to look for in the future for him as well. But what we found out about Cade, we had Kelly Olynyk early on and Isaiah Stewart. Isaiah Stewart was not a lob threat, but he also wasn't shooting the three in the beginning of the season, really not until the last 20 games. And then same thing with Kelly Olynyk. He was injured, but he was that pick and pop guy. And what we found out with Cade is that he plays real well with someone who can be a pick and roll threat. He's good with the pick and pop, but he is phenomenal with the pick and roll. So that bouncy, jumpy guy on offense, like Bagley, was really, really helpful for Cade. I think yes, Cade figured it out, but Bagley spread the floor in a completely different way that was really helpful for him. But Cade had plenty of good games when Bagley was hurt too.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and what's cool too is like kind of those we call it legacy great players in the league
yeah,
are getting older. Fine, like LeBron is finally clearing out.
yeah,
There's like 3 or 4 guys. Kawhi's been injured, where it's like
yes,
the it's open for Cade to be a top 5 player, and he's on our
yeah.
team, and we've got the top 3, 5 pick this year and 30 million in cap room. It's like the Pistons finally we got something. Thank
We
you.
got something. And when I watch Pistons games with Cade Cunningham, I don't know about you, but when I watch him, like, I can't believe we finally have it. Like,
Mm,
this is the first time we've drafted a guy that when you watch him, many nights he's the best player on the floor, or he has the ability to be the best player on the floor any given night. We haven't had that since Grant Hill. I mean, drafted that we drafted. So,
right.
like, the fact that we got to draft him, that we will retain his rights for the next 7 years, next six. So, for the first seven, and like, we don't have to worry. We have a 7 year window with him, and hopefully he can stay healthy. I'm just amazed that we get to watch this. And I think, too, we have to talk about so what's next? Like, what can he get better on? And the easy, obvious answer is two things: improve 3-point shooting, and I think he will. Do you remember Rip Hamilton, how toward the end of his career, all of a sudden he became a really good 3-point shooter
Mhm.
for the Pistons when he was so good from the mid-range forever?
Yep.
Well, he had that weird thing where he had a different shooting form with his three than his two. Cade has a lower release with his 3-point shot than he does with that mid-range shot. So I think when he gets that offseason working with Beeline or whatever shooting coach he's going to use, it's going to be pretty amazing to see that 3-point. I would imagine that would be up toward 36, 37 next year. And then the second one is dude's almost averaging 4 turnovers a game. He's got to bring that down. And hopefully with Killian continuing to develop, we take some of those possessions out of his hands. And also he's not forced to make so many decisions.
Yeah, and I think
That's
as
what
we
I look
add
for next year.
okay, perfect, and as we
Yeah.
add more talent, more guys are open, more things just come easier,
Yeah.
less, like you said, forcing less turnovers, 3 points
Guys
percentage
actually hit
goes
open
up.
shots,
Yeah,
increasing assists per game.
assists, yeah, exactly. Things are just gonna start rolling for him. It just
And
feels
getting to
that
the
way.
free throw line. Like,
Mhm.
seriously, Chris, if he improves that 3-point shooting by 4% and he gets to the line 4 more times a game, neither of these are crazy, outlandish things. Dude's averaging 5 to 6 points more per game easy.
Right.
So, I mean, you could say that it's very possible that next year it's not unrealistic for him to average 25 points. I think it'll still be more in that 22 range and 8 assists and 5 or 6 rebounds. Like, that's an all-star. That's all
That's
pro caliber numbers if he's doing it at a decently efficient rate. Like, that's on our team.
it and it
That's
and
what
it
we get to look
makes
forward to next year.
and it makes the rest of the team so fun and so like we're looking forward to it because yeah, obviously we want to watch him, but it's like, man, he's gonna make everybody else better.
Yes.
And who are we gonna
Yes.
add? It's like, oh, we added that piece. Now Cade can do this, or now Cade can do
Yeah.
that. So it's gonna be exciting to watch. So yeah,
Phenomenal.
keep watching these videos. Make sure you
Yeah.
subscribe because we're going to go through a few different players and just look at how they did this year and what the future holds, because the future for the first time in a long time is really looking good. I mean,
Right.
we really haven't been excited since, I mean, really excited, Craig, since the back in the 04, 05, 06 when we were really having fun. And then we just it always we tried to make it feel good, but it just never was since
Oh, it
then.
never felt good. Ben
Mm-mm.
Gordon, Charlie Villanueva, Rodney Stuckey. It was never right. It
You
just
know
was
what?
never right.
The one that tricked me was Josh Smith, because I'm like, he's
Oh, that
bigger. We
got
got a
you.
big front line. He can dunk.
Yeah.
And then the NBA is like, no, you actually need to be able to put the ball in
Yeah, you
the
actually have to
hoop.
be able to shoot.
And okay, so that didn't work. But yeah, I was tricked a few times with the Pistons. And so it's
Oh,
it's
that's
exciting
great.
to have them good. So make sure you subscribe. We're gonna do some more videos, and we will see all of you on the next one.
So, yep.